Look who we got here today. Michael freaking Strassner.
Hey.
Currently on your television in the theaters.
Still in Baltimore, yeah.
On demand for Baltimorons.
Yes.
Where'd you get that title?
It's just where I'm from, and people can say that there.
Do they say that?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's a positive term now, so that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. When you, what's one thing you lie about?
Jeez, my weight.
Okay. What do you say?
What am I at now?
What do you say it is?
I'd say I'm 112 kilograms.
Okay. What a joy to sit with you. We've been trying to pull this off for
God, quite a few months, I think, and it's so good to see you. Thank you for having me, John. This is my acting teacher right here. You know, God,
what a privilege it was to have you in class.
thank you.
Such joy. I really loved your movie.
Thank you.
I get scared every time I watch someone's movie. I really do because I don't.
You want it to be great.
I want it to be great with everything, and I won't know how to look at you if my thought is really like, what a stinker.
Yeah,
Because,
God.
but it was such a brilliant reflection of you and my experience of you, which also makes me very excited today because I have questions.
Okay.
I really am. No, because it's semi-autobiographical.
Yes.
You
Correct.
know?
Yeah.
And it takes place in Baltimore. Everyone, you got to see this movie. You really have to.
It's available on Amazon Prime now and Apple TV, wherever you rent movies.
Wherever you rent it, please rent it.
Yeah.
Buy it.
Buy it.
Show it to
Yeah.
your grandchildren.
Exactly. It's a Christmas movie, so truly,
it is a Christmas movie.
you can watch it every year.
But it's beautifully casted.
It's called The Baltimorons.
It's beautifully cast, not casted. Oh my
Yeah.
God, edit that out. No, it's beautifully cast. The cinematography is fantastic, and it was. Well, I know that the budget was low. Nothing in it felt compromised. Like there was no shot where you're sitting there going, they couldn't get what they really wanted. I love after your car is towed, and it's just it does remind me of one of my favorite movies, The Day Trippers. We talked about just a brilliant movie that when I mention in class, no one's seen it, and it always upsets me.
Parker Posey, Hope Davis,
Liev Schreiber, Stanley Tucci, and Mira.
Just
Ben Stiller,
yeah,
not Ben Stiller, Jerry Stiller.
Jerry Stiller, Greg Maletta.
I think so. I always get his name wrong.
His first movie ever.
But a movie you just don't know where it's going.
Yes.
But I also, another warning, I saw you on The Daily Show, so I'm not going to do everything that they did. And I saw you with the wonderful Desi Leidick, who I had the privilege of teaching many, many, many years ago.
Desi was
and
incredible.
It's not a shock at all what's become of her because she's so brilliant and amazing.
Yeah.
But about you, it's your life changed, right? When you had an incident and you tried to take your life.
Yes.
And it was a belt that broke.
Correct.
And that was in Los Angeles, though, I'm assuming.
Yes, that was in L.A. I
Right.
mean, when Jay and I wrote this together, we basically wanted to write something that we wanted to see now. One, like movies that we feel like aren't really made anymore. Just about two people experiencing life and wherever that takes them in a night. Like, it is very Day Trippers. It is very, before sunrise or before sunset. I can't remember which before, but
There were three of them.
Yeah, before midnight, another one. That, and also like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and Harold and Maude. That's all kind of for me. Like, I feel like my character is very similar to John Candy, and Liz is very similar to Steve Martin, and it's like the first time, but it's more of like a love story. And a buddy comedy, and the worst heist movie ever, to get the Cadillac out. All things that we kind of wanted to incorporate in this movie. And yes, the opening scene of the movie is based on my life. And when I met Jay and took him out to lunch, after knowing him for a couple months, it wasn't just like immediately take him out to lunch. I told him my story, and I said the only reason why I'm still here is because the belt broke and I was home a bit of holiday weight. And he smiled and laughed, and I was like, it's okay, you can laugh at that. And, it is the honest truth that, like, I'm so grateful that happened
Yeah.
because I was in a really dark place.
But I got to know you.
Correct. After.
After. I know after. And I know that you were, are sober. And also, when I met you, you'd been creating your own things. You lived in it you worked with a ton of creatives. And you definitely always brought a very, how should I say, pretty jovial presence into the class environment.
Yeah.
You were always a little bit of a mystery to me.
That's how I like to play it.
And I thought the film actually kept that mystery alive a little bit.
That's good.
And I want to demystify some of it.
Okay, of
today.
course. Of course.
But I know there's a story there. Sometimes behind mystery leads to curiosity, and I think I want to demystify before you do this great thing in the Baltimorons. I don't know how big the improv scene is in the Baltimorons. In Baltimore, but I imagine it's
actually not. There is a place called Big, which is Baltimore Improv Group, and they sell out every single weekend.
I bet.
And also the stand-up comedy scene is very kind of growing there, and it's kind of like a small Chicago,
Yeah.
And it's also a city that they love their Ravens, they love their Orioles, and they love their people there, and it gets a lot of slack and it's like a dumpster is what people call it.
I don't.
Yeah, and I think also because of the way in which it's been seen on The Wire and such, and and I grew up watching John Waters movies and Barry Levinson's movies and Diner and Serial Mom, and I would see my city on screen. I was like, I'm really proud of this city and I love this city. And in recent years, I think David Simon's stuff's absolutely incredible, and I think those stories need to be told as well. But also it is a wonderful city, and the people there are so eclectic and so fun, and truly are so open to being oh, you want to shoot here? Yes, and come here, And we got locations for free, and people showing up, being extras, and doing all this stuff because they just wanted to see their city in a positive light.
And you were there until you were 18? Did you leave for
20? Yeah, 18, and then I went to I went to East Carolina for a year,
okay.
And then I went to University of Maryland and got a theater degree there.
Okay.
And then came back for I think 6-7 months, and then I moved out to LA.
But the film, just like your life, does not really show what happened beforehand. So I don't know about the chaos that ensued that led to when you were not sober.
Correct.
Everyone has lovely things to say about Michale Strassner as far as his talent and a creative. I don't know what happened before that. Now, were you with the Groundlings?
I did Groundlings Sunday Company. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I did do Groundlings up until I was I moved out here at 22.
Okay.
It was my place. I loved it.
And the film talks about the bridges you burned.
Yeah.
And that was brilliant. I just love the thing with what's his name?
Caden. Yeah.
You're not funny. That's what you said.
Yeah.
But were there bridges burned?
Oh yeah. My addiction and all that. My heroes were Chris Farley and John Belushi. That's what I wanted.
Whew.
I wanted to be like them so bad. I was the physical comedy guy, and I would be the kind of chaotic person on stage that would do anything for a laugh. And what ended up happening was I took that leave of absence and I never went back.
You took that leave of absence, you just never went back.
Yeah.
So you did the Sunday Company.
Yeah, and then that was it.
That was it.
That was it.
So you didn't make it to the main company?
Didn't make it to Maine. And I still have many friends there, and we're and through the program of recovery that I'm in, I've cleaned up those amends, and
right.
We're all good. But, I think it just got, my alcoholism got me into a place where I was really depressed, and I didn't want to be here.
Whew, how long was that period? Was it a long period, or did it just reach a sudden peak?
I think. Well, no, I know. I mean, even when I was in my 20s, because the thing is like, I grew up in Maryland, and my parents got divorced when I was 8, and I loved to make my mom laugh. That was like my favorite thing. The first thing I ever saw was Miss Doubtfire when I was like 3, which was not good. But I came home, I put on my sister's dress and wig.
I think that's a kid's movie.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. Yeah. Dad's just trying to get custody of his kids.
Okay, so there's some things. Yeah.
But I came home and my mom was like, "Why are you dressed as, Miss Doubtfire?" She said, "Why are you dressed in your sister's dress?" And I was like, "I'm Euphigenia Doubtfire, my dear." And I was 3, and could just make her laugh. Then, 12, alcohol gets involved because I, just.
Was your dad around?
Yeah, my dad was around, but he remarried my neighbor, and my neighbors became my step siblings.
Okay.
So we were kind of like the talk of the town in Towson a little bit.
Wow.
And
Did you think your mom needed a laugh?
Yeah, I think so. And I just also like, yeah, I mean, because she never dated anybody else, didn't like, that was just kind of it, and it was just like her 3 kids is who she loved and cared about, and and then I would also like dress up like Ace Ventura and like say "alrighty then" to like get her just laughing, So that was my first kind of drug, was laughter.
Okay.
And then when alcohol and pot, was kind of my thing in high school, but then I also realized when I drank, like like I could do anything. Like I would be the guy that would get naked at thank God there weren't cell phones then, because like to get a laugh,
You'd be naked.
I'd be naked all the time. I was always.
This is in high school.
This is in high school, college. There's some pictures of me out there that my buddies and my friends have of me that are.
That was your go-to. You could bring down the house with that.
Well, ironically enough, like the last sketch I did at Groundlings, I played. It was Halloween, and I dressed up as Anthony Kiedis, and I worked at Best Buy, the lead singer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Okay.
So I walk on stage with just a sock on my area and a beanie. And they're like, "What do you do? Like, you can't." I'm like, "It's Halloween. Like, I'm good. Like, I can dress up like, Anthony Kiedis." Like, and they're like, "This is, not acceptable, not good."
Right.
And it got a big laugh, and it was, chaos. And then at the end of the sketch, a burglar came into Best Buy trying to steal, and I saved the day in my sock and do all this like karate and end up like.
Oh my God.
That was it. That was the last sketch that I did.
That was the last sketch.
Yeah, that was it.
Sunday Company. That was the last show.
Yeah, no, that was just after, like, because then I got like, I basically was like, after that, I was like, I had my attempt after that because I was super depressed, and it's
really amazing that your last attempt happened before the most extreme take on a sketch. Like you went for it.
Yes.
So it's kind of like I got nothing to fucking lose.
I get that, but I also had one that night that like completely bombed too, and I was like, so
guy.
it's like the ups. It's of like, what am I fucking doing? Like I'm not like I'm not even good at like.
Did you have counsel, or like who were your close friends during that period? That like, did you confide in anyone?
I mean, my buddy Brett was really there.
Okay.
Ken Kirby.
Okay.
There's just some really good people that. They didn't know the extent, because I talked to them afterwards, especially Brett. He was like, I just didn't realize how, like, because we were all just having fun, but mine got depressed.
But your pain was a secret to most of them.
Oh, yeah.
The level of the pain.
Yeah.
Could you?
And also I was coming down, that summer I had auditioned for SNL twice, flew out to New York twice.
Okay.
And so I was like, oh, this is it. Like like the second time I went, I was like, cool. I'll be living, I think, probably in Brooklyn because I don't really know any other areas. And I'm doing exactly what Farley did. Like I'm here, I'm drunk, and I'm ready to do sketch comedy for a living. And
do you identify as someone who handles it well?
I identify someone who handles it well now.
Then?
No.
But back then when you were in it, did you think you handled it well?
I thought I definitely did a great job
of concealing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure somebody there was like, this guy kind of reminds me of because there's
Okay.
people that probably were still there that worked with Farley.
Right.
And the best thing that happened to me too was when I first got sober, I read The Chris Farley Show, which is a book that his brother wrote, Tom. And I never knew this, but the book opens up with him talking to a rehab, and he's got 18 months sober. And he's saying, if I can do it, anybody can do it. Wow. And I was like, man, I had no idea he ever got sober. Come to find out, his best role he's ever done, Tommy Boy, he was completely sober.
No.
Mm-hmm. And it was just like, wow, you know, if he can do it, maybe I can do it, you know.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
So that's it. You pulled yourself out, and
I pulled myself out with the help of a lot of people. I need to, you know, that's always, and that's been the whole continuous journey of this whole thing is it has always been many people helping me through. I have not done it alone at all.
But after the belt broke in the holiday weight, then you went right to rehab?
No, I didn't have health insurance, so I couldn't even go to rehab because I was 28 and I hadn't had insurance for like 4 years. Again, this is like the stuff that I like to say that like most people handle life things, and I just never got the manual for it. Because I had friends being like, "Why don't you have health insurance?" Like and I was like, "I don't think I need it. I'm 28."
There was a profound moment in the movie which really, to me, really encapsulated like you, where you say to, am I allowed to say this? It might be, you know, there's a moment in the movie where you say to your fiance, like, I'm not ready. I don't want the real life.
Yeah.
You know, basically you're saying, I want to live the life of a creative.
Yeah.
But I think there are, which does feel like Michael to a certain extent, of like your bliss is living in a creative world, in a place of connection, and not worrying about the mundane of like, I gotta get health insurance, I gotta get my car fixed, I gotta go to the doctor and going to the dentist.
Exactly, which I do now.
I don't want to do that. Yeah. And so I bet real life sometimes is for you like, this is a pain in the ass.
I had a coffee.
I bet it is still.
Yeah. When I was drinking, I bought a coffee table on Wayfair, and I bought it on credit. So I think I paid like $20 or whatever for the table, and then I had to pay it off, and it was like $160.
Okay.
I stopped
Seems
making
like a sound investment.
Exactly. I needed a coffee table really bad.
Yeah.
I made those payments lapse, and the coffee table ended up being like $800 or $900, maybe even $1,000, and creditors came after me for the table.
For the fucking
and one of the first things
coffee table.
And one of the first things I did when I got sober was like my sponsor was like, you need to pay that off. Like that's something.
Talk about amends.
Exactly.
To make
you
amends
owe Wayfair.
to that damn
yeah,
Wayfair.
Exactly.
That company is clearly in need of the money.
Exactly. And I ended up like that's like the things that like because I see that bill in the mirror and I'm like I just don't even look at it. And it's like, you have to look at this stuff. And yes, a part of it is I want to just be free and not worry about anything and, you know, just enjoy life, which I am doing 100% now. But I'm also paying my credit card on time every month. Well, I mean, like the things that it's just, yeah, you can do all that and also still be free, you know.
You know, I've so many sober friends. And my best friend is, and you know, we mentioned this in the room, but to bring it back, is that I've always been curious because he's such a incredibly responsible human being, and I would say like, what would happen if you drank? Like what happens? Because I've never known that side of him. He's been sober for 25 years. He's like, if I have one drink, I may wake up 3 days later in Vegas not knowing what happened.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? He's like, that's happened. Like, it's this thing. And he said that what you do is you're vacillating so wildly. And, I have addiction in my family. You vacillate so wildly between feeling on top of the world to suddenly feeling like a little piece of poop.
Yeah.
Like to feeling so small and invisible. And the swings can literally happen on a moment's notice.
100%.
And then you were mentioning also that there's often an obsessive thought.
Oh yeah, like I think the normal person thinks about 100,000 thoughts a day. The alcoholic drug addict thinks about one thought 100,000 times, and in the day.
And does that happen even
Oh
sober?
yeah, yeah. I mean that's 100%. I mean,
then I definitely have an addictive brain.
Yeah,
my brain is definitely that of.
And like the best thing that ever happened to me was something I didn't want at all. Like truly, like the last. I could never have imagined my life being sober. Truly, it was the biggest. I thought it was going to be the most boring thing in the world. I thought I was not going to have any fun. I thought I was not going to make anybody laugh anymore. I thought my life was literally over at 28. That's it. Hard stop. This is gonna friggin' suck. If this is what it has to be, because my identity up until then was with alcohol, cocaine, with all that was just this is who I am. Like it's the way I start my day. It's the way I do it. Like it's the way I see a movie. It's like nothing was without alcohol. And now, I couldn't have been more wrong.
It is profound.
I've seen more parts of the world than I ever saw.
And you took it in.
And I took it in, and I had experiences. Like I was in Greece, and I think I was like 18 months sober, or maybe 2 years, and I just dove in the water. And granted, I think the boat guy threw bread in the water that's made fish surround me, but I had this like experience where like I was crying underwater with all these fish surrounding me, and I'm like, this is the present moment. I'm so grateful to be here. I love my life. Oh my God. And I've had those experiences over the last, I'm 7.5 years sober. I couldn't have been more wrong about everything I thought that this life was going to be.
And it doesn't mean, first of all, that's gorgeous. I think it does, rather than having this companion you need, which actually dilutes the experience.
Yeah.
Now you're fully having the experience, but it doesn't take away the downs.
No, 100%.
The downs, so I'm sure the
especially
downs
in this industry.
Yeah. Oh. Well, I want to. What a beautiful segue.
Yeah.
Is because for someone with this, groundlings, you go to SNL. So I'm sure when you didn't get that was a low of lows, and then
but I wasn't. But I was still drinking at that time.
I know.
So it was so I knew how to. I knew how to medicate
and put yourself back
exactly.
up.
It was like, okay, I'll just drink.
What was your drink of choice?
Seagram 7, because that's what my grandfather drank.
Seagram
7 on the rocks. Then I also did Pacific.
Is that a gin?
Nope, it's a whiskey.
That's a whiskey. Seagram
Yep, Seagram 7, and just a little bit of water.
Okay.
And it would be tap water because I didn't have a Brita that changed yet. Again, something that like I didn't look into. But then also like my routine was I would go to the liquor store to get the Seagram 7, then I would go across the street to the 7-Eleven and get a 6-pack of Pacifico and a bottle of wine, just because if the Seagrams ran out, I had these too that I would also be drinking at the same time. So it was all this funnel. And I kind of, I don't know if I should say, I'm so grateful that I found a program of recovery and I didn't have insurance to go to rehab, because I had to be in the world that I lived in. I didn't get to go away.
Wow. I
had to still live in proximity to those vices.
All those vices, yeah.
Every day. And I think that helped me. I only speak on my experience. It helped me just kind of,
reprogram it.
Like, because now I walk by those places every day, and it's the 7-Eleven. It's like I get my Twizzlers there.
Yeah.
It's not anything. But what the movie shows as well is that first year. It's your first everything.
Yeah.
Because that's, for me, it was super scary. I got sober 2 weeks before the Super Bowl. I was like, how am I going to watch the Super Bowl without drinking? Like, that's the event. How am I going to go to a Ravens game without drinking? How am I going to go to Thanksgiving? How am I going to go to Christmas without drinking? Like, this is
It's reconditioning everything.
100%. And I think our character, unlike my character, or my own experience, is like, I leaned on other people during those times to call when I was feeling uncomfortable. Cliff doesn't call. So that's why it's like, he doesn't call people in the, like, should I be doing this? It's all his thinking.
Yes.
Which I think also, it's more of like, this is a guy who's in early recovery, who's trying to learn how to walk again.
Right.
And he's not really using the tools. He goes at the very end, he goes to the place that he needs to hear some advice, but that whole day he didn't take any from anybody else.
Oh, I was listening. I was like, "You are self-absorbed, man," and that's often what happens. I think when you are in that initial recovery place, there's such a thing about what do I need right now?
Exactly.
What do I need?
Exactly, and that's what I think we wanted to we wanted to show messy people, and not just perfect people, because I feel like so much of the stuff that's on or in movies is you see everybody being and it's like that's why no one's wanting to see this stuff.
But it's really beautiful. What I do love is that, like, you are self-absorbed. Like, sometimes I wanted to punch you, be like, you're so self-absorbed.
Yes.
So about everything. It's all about what do I need right now. But you happen to run into a woman who's equally fraught with unhappiness.
Yeah.
But you maybe are self-absorbed, but you're kind.
And I see that she needs something.
And she needs something. So there is an act of generosity.
Yes.
So you have an opportunity to give something to her.
Correct.
So it's, and I mean, I love that last scene where you're knocking on the wrong fucking door. Of course, you're wrong. You're knocking on the wrong door.
Yeah.
So he was, and that's such a great place to start it. Don't start it where he's already learned all these lessons.
No.
Start a place where he's just flailing. I do love the fact that your car gets towed again.
Yes.
It's towed again. And that I had a client, I got to tell you, maybe I didn't, but they came to really struggling with sobriety. But they would come to class clearly over, and I tried to help, and I finally did say, if you are ever drinking again, you cannot come back into this building because I cannot support it. I'm willing to help you. I'm going to do whatever you need, but you cannot come back into this building just because I feel like some boundaries needed to be.
Well, that's the thing is like, what you also is like, you lose things.
Yeah.
And, the greatest thing that happened to me was that I didn't get to go back.
Yeah.
And I got to.
You didn't lose it all.
Exactly. And, and consequences, because then it was like, okay, like it's affecting the thing that I love the most, which is make people laugh.
And I think a lot of people, the thing that deludes them is they somehow elude the consequences.
Yeah.
They negotiate them.
Exactly. Well, oh my God, we're the best negotiators.
Best negotiators.
And, it's like, I'll just stick to beer for a little while. I won't have any hard liquor. That's my thing, and it's like
I'll just have wine.
Exactly. And
a beer.
Yeah. And it just doesn't happen. I mean, at least for me, it just doesn't happen. And people only get it when they're ready to get it. And and you can't get sober for,
anyone else.
It's got to be, because it ends up being your life.
But what I'm so curious, Michale Strassner, is that here you are, you've made this wildly impressive movie, and we can get into the whole of like how you talk to Jay and all that stuff, which of course I'm curious about, but this podcast is called #ActorLife, and I think one of the things it has to do with is everyone just has. The term would always irritate me because it would be like #ActorLife. Well, them on set.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, what the fuck does #ActorLife mean? Because it means what you went through. That's actor life. It's someone in the line, like working background.
Yeah.
It's someone having to scrub toilet somewhere to be able to pay the rent, or someone on, going bankrupt.
It's someone who just got to L.A. who is going for the first non-union commercial.
That's what it is. So it's like let's be really clear that #ActorLife. Let's not put it through some color correction.
Yeah. And that's the only thing we want to show.
That's the only thing we want to show. And I'm just so curious because, again, knowing you, in class, what I witnessed was a remarkably talented person who really was just a creative, who had a lot of fans and would always book a commercial here and there, would always be up for something, whether it be small or bigger. Like there was always ball, like you were juggling things, or there's things in the air that maybe hadn't landed or would land. But I could never quite document where you were mentally in relationship to the career. Like I knew that you were going to create no matter what. Michael was going to go create a short, but like I never knew you were casting commercials. Like you're a mystery. I never knew that you had other jobs. You know what I mean? I would just watch TikToks or Instagram, whatever you do, of you like in Ireland or something. I'm like, he has this extraordinary life. It's like a mystery. Like I don't know what Michael's day-to-day life actually is.
It's very simple. I get up every day at 4:15. I take my dog out. I bless you. I get up, and this only happened because of pandemic, truly. I started to go to bed really early. I think in 2020, like I would have my salmon at 6:30, and I'd go to bed at like 7:30, and I would get up early because no one was on the streets, and I'd go for runs.
Did you say you'd have your salmon?
Yeah, I would always have salmon at night.
Just salmon?
Just cook a salmon.
Lox?
Yeah, no, just salmon with maybe some rice and some broccoli, and had
Very
a
healthy.
simple life. Bless you. And then I think in that time when I was in your class, I started just kind of pushing the clock back a little bit more, because what I found was in the morning, I was able to get work done when no one else was around. So I would get up. So now it's at 4:15.
Okay.
I take my dog out. I do my little morning meditation. I do my little prayer, and then I journal every single morning. I read a new chapter of a new book. Right now I'm on Barry Sonnenfeld's book, and it's incredible. And then I go to the gym every day at 5 o'clock. And then I'm there for 45 minutes to an hour. And then when I get home from 6 to 7 every single day, I do 1 hour of work, whatever that is. It could be outlining another project. It could be writing. It could be maybe making a video. Back in the day, I would make a video, and then at 7:30, I would go to a meeting every day. And I'd get all that done by 8:30 a.m. So then I just went back to sleep for the rest of the night. No. But no, that just kind of became my routine. And by doing that on a daily basis, by doing that 1 hour of work on a daily basis, by doing the journal, I was just able to kind of like, I knew I was going to be okay. Like all those 1 hour a days turn into hundreds of hours of days. And then it turns into your project. And then you're ready for whatever that big thing is, where somebody takes a chance on you. And, but Jay said he saw that in me. He saw me getting up and doing a video at 5 a.m. He's like, this guy's after it. He's hungry. He wants to do this stuff.
What I hear, which is so huge, in sobriety, you found structure.
Which I never had.
Well, initially was like the enemy, because that was, but what you found was that didn't mean like you weren't a creative. It's just structure your creativity.
Exactly.
What if creativity actually becomes not just when you're feeling it? What about when you're, it's like, no, I actually have to clock in.
Yeah. And just like a job, and, can do that. And then, yeah, of course I'm doing side jobs because, so I worked in the casting offices and running sessions and saw all my actor friends. And, it was, and I did that because I just would check back in because I didn't, after 2020, I worked in the restaurants from the time I was 14 to the time I was 30.
Right.
And I was like, I just don't want to do this anymore. I have to do something else.
For your spirit.
For my
your
spirit.
soul.
Yeah. And I was like, well, what happens if, and I got lucky at the end of 2020, I booked 3 Geico commercials that were all shot in 2 days. And that was my whole 2021. I didn't have to worry about anything. And that's when I entered your class because a friend told me, he said, I started to book jobs after I started to book actual TV jobs after I had a class with John. And he just taught me how to be comfortable in my skin and comfortable as myself. And I'm bringing myself into every single thing that I'm doing. So it's like you're still but like I don't have to be a character. I think it's important to still play a character, but like
that's lovely to hear.
And what I found was, and what I found in your class with working with people like Rachel and Lindsay and Nicole and Brandon and Clayton, like it was like I just got comfortable being myself in these scenes and not being being charactery, And then when this opportunity came, he was like, "I'm writing this script with you in mind. With you, it's you. It's a version of you,
It's a bit. It's a bit. What word am I looking for? Because I do. I coach people on shows where they've written them, and I'm like, it's adjacent to you. It's not you.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Just it's a skosh.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah,
because otherwise you're gonna feel beholden to something.
Exactly. I mean, like bad example, but like Adam Sandler in all his comedies.
Yeah.
He's playing him for the most part, unless he's doing Zohan or whatever. But it's him,
Yeah.
And then he also is so great that he can do the uncut gems, and he can do, But even like one of my favorite movies, Punch Drunk Love, that's him so small and so great that's what I want to do. I want to be the guy that can do that as well. And I feel like I was able to kind of get that opportunity with Jay, where I can do the small stuff, but also get some big laughs in it.
It is so you. But what I also appreciated was we're watching you. It's kind of like that mystery of Michael was so present. But then to watch you have to confront yourself just with your girlfriend, your fiance.
I keep mixing it up in the movie too.
I know. Well, Olivia?
Olivia,
that's the actress.
She was incredible.
I love her. I love her teeth. I love her. I just love everything about her face.
She's very Baltimore. I mean, like she's from. I think I know she's Italian.
Is she in L.A.?
No, she's in New York.
We
like saw like a good amount of people for that role because that was like closer. We kind of cast that a little later, but when she just and this is what I learned about the casting side of it. And like, because again, I always came from the actor. Like, why not me? Like all this for so many jobs I put myself up for. When someone is just it's nothing to do with the other actors.
Well, what I got. Tell me if I'm wrong, because it's fun to throw this out. It felt like to me that she was exactly, unfortunately, what you needed at that moment in your life.
Yeah.
Someone who was like, "Come on, stay there. Don't go to the show. Stay sober." Yeah. So it was more kind of like a loving prison guard to a certain extent. Yeah. Like, come on, I love you. I love you. Stay in it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like you need that, almost like to like stay in, remind you of what's important, which almost you can go like, wait, is this love? Or is this just kind of like what I need right now in my life?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And I think Olivia just did a great job at like
making her likable.
Yeah. Well, that was the big thing too. Was like we wanted her likable, but also like we wanted to see moments in the script where like she's there for him, but she's not really there for him.
Yeah.
Like she's also concerned with her.
She ate the goddamn crack cake.
Yeah,
she didn't even make you a plate.
Exactly.
Are you out of your mind?
Exactly.
There's like no maternal. She was more guard than mom.
Yes, and also like when you're with when you're with somebody that you're constantly worried about.
Yeah. She has a plan.
Yeah.
And you're falling within the plan.
Exactly.
And the second you start to like be like, I think I need this other thing.
Yeah.
It's gonna go to poop.
Yeah. But that's what we got. I mean, we got so lucky with Olivia, with Liz, with my fiance who's in the movie, Jessie Cohen. She's incredible. We got MCAT to play the.
Yeah, we ran into each other at the now no longer existing Rite Aid.
Really? Wait. Yes. That's three. Brian Mendez, who played Conway, did absolutely we got.
He was great.
Rob Phoenix, who that was a Baltimore hire, who played Baltimore. Marvin. Morgan played Tanya, and she was incredible. Like we got really lucky on so many, just different people. You've
had great representation for a really long time, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean SNL kind of helped me.
That helped
with
you
that. Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
And just for everybody, like, when we do see all these posts and we see you, no one knows. You know what? There was an actress who I'll never forget. I was watching her on, this was like 25, 27 like years ago. I really, really adored her. We had kind of come up together, and she was on all these shows, like recurring on a million, but like on one regular. And then I'm at a place called, I think it was a bar on Gower and Melrose.
Bar and Gower.
I don't think it exists anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm with some friends. That's when, feels like everyone was just at bars those days. Like, that's all we did. But I turned around, and there she was asking me what I'd like for a drink. And I was like, I'm not going to say her name, but I was like, what are you doing here? You're on like 3 shows. She's like, I'm an idiot. I got a Mercedes, and I can barely pay.
Yeah.
And I promise you, everyone in the world thinks that this woman's doing great. And it just made me recognize, no one knows what anyone's actual experience is, financial, anything.
100%.
Behind seeing them on TV. You know how I got my first, how I got a day job?
How?
I did a guest star. I was the lead of some movie. Not good. But someone saw me in an episode of a show on ER. And they called me up. They're like, man, congrats. You're killing it out there in L.A. And I'm like, I need a job.
Yeah.
I'm broke.
I mean,
and they're like, I have one for you. And they got me a gig. And I was like, okay, no one knows.
Yeah. And it was super funny because after the premiere at South by Southwest, all the people coming up to me saying, like, God, I loved your performance. It was so great. All these people. The one I hear is this girl comes up to me and goes, liked you in the Doritos spot. And I was like, you just saw me for an hour and a half on stage.
And that's what you said?
And that's what you said. And it got me real down to...
Yeah, so I was wondering, what's that experience like? Because, I mean, you're literally...
And I love the Dorito. I mean, like, it was,
It was a brilliant spot.
yeah.
I texted you during that.
Exactly, yeah. And that was awesome because it was the Super Bowl and, like, it was just me. And, I think I hadn't received that many text messages in a minute in my entire life. Like, it was, huge. And it was awesome. And
but
those guys...
it's so vulnerable. When you are at South by Southwest, you are on screen for an hour and a half.
Yes. I mean, there's not a shot with me not in it.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
And then that just must bring out a million, so many. I mean, talk about feeling on top of the world
and
feeling
like, yeah,
very small.
and again, I think there's like I love doing commercials. I think they're a ton of fun, and I love the people
course.
all that. But when I made a movie that I'm really proud of, and I love very much, and the first thing out of someone's mouth is about
a Doritos commercial
with an alien.
Don't you want to track him down? Go why? What did that mean?
Yeah,
what's the point?
exactly.
What was the agenda?
Yeah. What exactly were you trying to get at there? Truly,
Talk to me.
because that hurt.
That hurt?
Yeah. I was crying up there, and you're like, worrying about a chip. So yeah, it was definitely. But again, it was like it's that. I mean, I remember seeing one of my heroes, Robin Williams, on Letterman one night, and he said, after I got the Oscar for Good Will Hunting, everyone was like, "Yeah, Good Will Hunting, good job," And a couple weeks went by, and then oh, hey, didn't you get the people forgot, and then like 3 months was like, "Hey, Mork,"
Yeah.
and it's like it doesn't. So it's like whatever people, and again, I'm not by any means comparing myself to Robin Williams, but I just loved that story of like, he's done so much amazing stuff, and people still remember him for Mork, which is also a great role as well.
I've heard from so many clients that, like I had one client whose father won an Oscar, and they were saying that things were not good after that. Partially because of that. It was like somehow there was like this expectation of how they were supposed to feel, and it actually did not go in that direction. Like it did not fill the cup. You know what I mean? And there became an expectation of like what was supposed to happen career-wise after that.
Well, and also like, I mean, the thing that I kind of go back, like now where I am in my life and where like this has been the most insane experience I've ever had, ever. getting to travel the world for this little movie that we made.
Mm-hmm.
It's been the craziest. Like, I've been to Munich and Karlovy Vary, and I'm heading to Stockholm and Poland and Glasgow. All these, it's
Amazing.
incredible. And the best part about it is that I'm just in the present moment, and I'm just enjoying every.
But that
second.
still takes work, right?
Yes, it does.
It does take constant work.
You know, because guess what? Like, this industry, who was the best supporting actor last year?
You know,
right? We have a forgetful mind. And I'm sure if I can really think, I'm like, what was it?
I just want to say his name, Bob Balaban.
I wish it was Bob Balaban. That would have been great. But we put so much value on it every year.
Yeah, we do.
And people forget. And it's like, and it's great. It goes in your, place, and it looks great, and people come in, oh, you got an Oscar. That's incredible. Doesn't change anything.
How is the film, and again, everyone, you have to see this movie. No, you really do. Well, before I ask this question, you know what I did? I really appreciated your cast. And not against anyone that we know, because I love the actors that we know. I love that it was all these fresh faces. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know these people.
Liz has been doing this for 45 years, I think she said, or 50 years.
And she's
incredible.
Freaking wonderful. Again, I would say do privately, but she feels like the mom of Ari Grainer.
Yeah.
And she's 66.
I didn't say that.
According to well, it's on Google.
Okay.
And she is sexy, and I mean, I get it. Like, it's like there's something so embodied about her, so inhabited. I love that opening. Dentist, like, you're like, why the hell would you do a great job of explaining it? How the hell did this woman? Why would she show up on Christmas Eve to take care of your goddamn tooth?
Turn on the lights for this one guy.
Yeah, but she's workaholic.
Yeah.
Who's unhappy, and otherwise she's just going to stay at freaking home.
With nobody,
which is really depressing.
Yeah.
And then she ends up going to that house, which is even more depressing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, choose your depressant.
Exactly. And she goes on the best ride, too. And she has told that, like, she's like, she would go up to Jay after each take and be like, do I love Michael too much right now? Like, I know we're, like, right. And she really, like, you see the whole transformation in the day for her.
It feels like so much dopamine entered her system, you know what I mean? When, like, she just started to have the thrill of of everything, from just all these new encounters. Yeah. Also, you're such a delightful, that thing you do with you want tickets?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can get you tickets. I actually work for the Ravens.
That's my...
Yeah. Oh, you want a box?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Just write down your number. I'll get them over. I love that so much. 1-800-GOTCHA.
Yeah.
And then you go back to the thing, and then the improv scene, which you had to reshoot. And I remember watching that improv scene. I'm so curious about it. It was interesting because I felt it was a jarring scene because you had so much to tackle. Because we have to tackle your fall from grace, the emotions that you feel. It's got to be a segue. She has never done improv. How are you going to, like, there's so many given circumstances that you have to navigate.
Yeah. And
have it be like kind of a scene that has to hold the movie together.
Well, that's why we had to reshoot, because he just wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. And Jay has told me, like, every single one of his movies, he's had to do a reshoot on something.
Yeah.
And it's like, because it's just when you get in the editing, it's like you get your, this is all stuff that I learned. Like, truly.
Was that months later?
Oh yeah, like we shot that back. We finished shooting in December 2023, and we reshot that scene in the beginning of July 2024, and so we shot it in a hot garage. But like and this is what, again, like, I got a master's class in this where it was like, okay, now that we have a rough edit, let's send it to some people, get some notes, see what's landing, what's not landing. Is the fiance, is she too, like, are we kind of being too terrible to her throughout? Is she too, so we added some stuff in there where, he gets a text message that she didn't make him a plate. she doesn't come get him on the phone. We add that type of stuff.
Oh, great.
Where again we see these things.
All that adds up.
100%. And
it's very passive aggressive.
yes, 100. Yeah, and that improv scene was just not like Jay said it. He's like, the movie was probably like a B, with the old improv scene, and I think with the new one, it takes it to A material where we wanted to get to, where like a full structured movie that is really great.
I thought that was really brilliant thing of like when you don't kiss her, it being about the alcohol.
Yes,
not about an attraction or anything like that.
Yeah, because it's the first time now too. Like, because maybe Brittany, I don't know how much they're really kissing.
Yeah.
Like things aren't great, and this is the first time he actually like smells alcohol.
Yeah.
And he tells her to have a drink, not thinking that they're going to do anything.
Right.
And then it's like,
It'd be weird if you wouldn't.
Yeah, and it just like, I remember when I had 90 days or 60 days sober, and I ordered a soup. I ordered a lobster bisque at Smokehouse, and the guy brought out the soup, and he was like, "Do you want it on top?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." I didn't know what he said. I thought he said whatever. Turns out he said, "Do you want sherry on top?" And I take a big bite of the soup, and it's sherry, and I like flip out. Like I'm like, "Oh my God!" I call my sponsor right away, and he's like, "Okay, it's okay. It's a mistake. Do you want to go out and have a whole bottle of sherry right now, or do you want to go back to your meal?" Enjoy it, and realize that it's okay, like because again, like it didn't affect my sobriety. I was worried that I was gonna have to start back and see whatever that is, but it was
your days.
I didn't lose my days. Yeah,
I was curious about the one thing, the nitrous.
See, that's doctor's orders, so that is like she can't do anything. She can't do the surgery without that.
Okay.
So that's
that's okay.
And also like he doesn't really have he doesn't call his sponsor throughout. So like he's not really checking in about this stuff.
Right. So he's not even official. Like it's all self.
Yes.
Which is can I want to ask you something. Do you still go to meetings regularly?
Yeah, that's
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I worry about people who get sober without going to meetings. I'm just throwing that out there to hear your thoughts.
I think everyone's on their own
Okay.
path, and I think there's many different ways to do sobriety. I personally, for me, it just helps to get help from others.
I think there's something about the steps and really.
I think the steps should be taught in
everywhere.
Yeah, in kindergarten.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they're not like that's. I think if everyone knew these things, there'd be a lot more accountability and taking responsibility for people's parts and things.
Sometimes I meet people who haven't had a drink in 7 years, but
who are just a biggest asshole and
but they still feel it just feels like someone who's still completely an alcoholic who's just denying, like just basically just abstaining, versus actually going to a new life.
Yeah.
And experiencing life differently.
Yeah, I think. For me, it was like, I was so worried about losing like everything, and I got this huge gained everything and gained this huge community, and just a way of living that I never realized was possible, and it's definitely helped in all aspects of creativity, which again I was afraid of as well.
That's amazing. How was it affected as we wind down? How was it affected, like, career-wise, as far as, like, have more opportunities been coming? Have more rooms been available or anything
100%. I mean, it's been, I'm developing stuff. I want to work with Jay the rest of my life. That's, like, a given.
He does an amazing job.
He is the best director I've ever worked with and best friend he's just become a big brother to me. And
that's what you get for DMing someone.
Truly. That's my biggest thing is like
you just DM'd him
because
you saw that he was following you.
100%. And I just DM'd him and I said, "I'm a huge fan of yours. I saw that you followed me. I guess
what made him follow you? Just a video you had made?" I
was making Brene Brown videos where I was just making fun of her husband Steve, and I was also making like
You were making fun of Brene Brown?
No. I was just doing like Brene Brown in person. So I was like, what does ice cream really stand for? I courageously encourage courage, redeeming myself of shame. You know, and he just like loved that. And then I also was doing like Buffalo Bill talking to his Alexa. So I would be like, you know, Alexa, where can I buy skin? And then I was listening to the Goodbye Horses, and then Alexa would come on and be like, you can get skincare products. I'm like, no, human skin. And I just saw he followed me, and I was like, and again, I don't have a huge follow. Like, I mean, I'm not a huge social. Like, I just would put out creative stuff throughout the pandemic, and it came upon his page one day, and I saw that he followed me, and I was like, I have a short film I've been wanting to do for years. I'm just going to send it to him. He, you know, I'm going to see what happens. I sent it to him in September of 2021 when I was in your class, and then I booked Young Rock, and that took me abroad.
That's right.
Yep. And then I got back in February, and like the week I got back, I had just gotten a haircut because they gave me a shitty haircut on Young Rock. I had a mullet. But thank you for the work. I left the barbershop, and I got a DM from Jay being like, dude, I'm super old. I don't know how Instagram works, but please send me your script. I think you're so funny. And I still have that DM to this day. And it changed my life just by taking the chance. And again, I've already lost so much in my life. Like, it's like, why not?
Why not?
And what I learned about producing this movie, just ask. The worst thing anyone's going to say is no. I mean, that is like with all the locations that we got, with the Cadillac that we got, with the Mercedes that we got, with the people that came on board, it was just asking, hey, can you do this?
This is bringing like the entire podcast, like all of the episodes together to a certain extent because, you know, Hannah Pilkus.
I love Hannah Pilkus. We were both at South by together, and we had lunch together. We saw Chloe's movie together, and we like had this amazing experience, just like being like, holy crap, like,
holy shit,
we're both here, and you know,
she was on the podcast. And, you know, she talked about it, like, she would not have gotten Leanne had Chuck Lorre not. I mean, she might have, but he was able to look at all these videos she had done, just like you, that she did not do to get a show. She did it because she just needed a creative outlet. There was no agenda.
Yeah.
Other than to create.
Yeah.
And you were doing those videos just to, like, I need to do something with my brain.
100%.
And then it also makes me think of Leah McKendrick.
Yeah.
Who just finished her movie, Voicemails of Isabel. She did Scrambled, and her one thing is all you have to ask. You have to ask. And now she just finished directing a $35 million movie.
It's crazy.
I mean, like,
and awesome, you know.
But I mean, it is. I mean, it makes me emotional. Just doing things with no expectation, other than just I expect to do it. Just that's all I'm going to do. I'm not looking for the outcome.
And honestly, that's what I've learned in the program of recovery: is people helping you with no expectations. And that makes me emotional because it's like
we're gonna cry together.
Yeah,
that's what this podcast was born out of.
Yeah, I mean, but like that's like I wouldn't be here like without many people helping me, and now you know, and that comes also from like my acting teacher and like people that like, you know, helped me get to where I am today. And so I don't know. It's just like go like if you're trying to be in this field and you're just wanting to be just an actor, like good luck. Like it's, I mean, I wish you all, I mean, I hope you're Australian.
Or Bruce Stern.
Yeah.
Bruce Stern.
Exactly.
You have to be very,
and that was not a slight at Australians. I'm just saying that they're interesting and they can have an accent.
Listen, I think there are a certain number of people that just maybe are very fortunate and they're so good at it. That's all they want to do, and they make a living, and they make a good living from it. It's not a lot.
And it's getting less and less now.
Getting less and less. But I would imagine that anyone who's, for a majority of people, this is not everyone, but a majority of people who are really talented actors, there is a creative being that needs to do something that is stimulating and expression of their brain and creativity, and they want to hyphenate, not out of even necessity, not out of like financial necessity, out of spiritual necessity.
Yeah.
And I think when there is that spiritual necessity, you're gonna find an outlet.
100%.
And I think just yes-anding that
I mean,
allows for good things to happen.
That's an Amy, or is that the Tina Fey book or the Amy Poehler? It's like yes and life. That's it, and because a lot of people want to be no. A lot of people want to shut down and not fear of what, I mean, even, like there was a ton of fear of making this movie. Like this is the first movie Jay directed by himself. Like he was like, am I going to be good enough for this? But I have to take that chance and do it. And of course of course I'm thinking you're Jay Duplass. Like, like whatever you like. Yeah. But he was like, I don't know. I'm taking a risk on, he did everything that he was not supposed to do. He made a independent movie without any movie stars. Yeah. Nothing was selling, and everything was going to streaming. Yeah. And we sold the movie to IFC, rep them right here. It had a theatrical run. Yeah. And it made like some close to $1 million or something for a movie without any stars. Yeah. So you don't know anything. No. Well, he did one smart thing. He didn't decide to go with huge set pieces. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I would say we had some huge set pieces. Oh, amazing set pieces. Just he didn't choose to go for the one that would cost $5 million for the day. But the thing he did was we gave him locations. Yeah. We said, this is what we have for free. But great. It never felt like a compromise. Like, it felt like that's what it was supposed to be. Yeah. And that fit your guys' lives. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for this. This is amazing. John. Thank you for having me. I want you on again in another 2 years. And I want to see where we're at right there. But it's good things. Of course. This is all good. I love to come back. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Hashtag Act Your Life is a John Rosenfeld Studios podcast, produced by Pave Path Productions, filmed by Haley Tucker, sound engineering by Haley and Adam Tucker, sound mixing and original music by Brandon Liu and Brandon Liu Music. To learn more about John Rosenfeld Studios, visit www.johnrosenfeld.com.